boy, ladies and gentlemen, the Toronto Maple Leafs trade waters have opened. Because when it comes to Maple Leafs captain Auston Matthews, we may just be on the cusp of revealing his next destination. Now, we all know the story here. Auston Matthews is 28 years old. He is signed on till the end of 2028. He's making $13.25 million a year. He is one of the top paid players in the National Hockey League. And for the most part, I'd say there's a reasonable thought that says he deserves it. Multiple 60-time goal scorer, near 70 goal scorer one season, multiple-time 100-point scorer too. Matthews is going through a bit of a rough patch, especially with this season going the way it has. The Maple Leafs stunk. Matthews got his season ended early by Radko Gudas, but in between all of that, there was an Olympic captaincy and a gold medal in there. So I think Auston Matthews is doing pretty all right. But with the departure of Mitch Marner, with the explosion of absolute mediocrity that is the Toronto Maple Leafs, with all of these things combined, with the fact that Auston Matthews was just chilling with these American guys at the Olympics, players like Quinn Hughes, who left his captaincy role in Canada to go over to the States, players like Matthew and Brady Tkachuk, who have been very patriotic over the past few years. There is a debate that says that Auston Matthews can follow suit in the same way that Matthew and Quinn did a few years ago. With that said, I wanted to turn your attention over to Howard Berger, who does stuff on BetweenThePosts.ca. He was originally a part of the 1992 launch of the Fan 590, and I'm pretty sure he had worked in Toronto mainstream sports radio until 2010, 2011, something like that? Howard Berger's in the industry. He's got connections, he's got people that he talks to, even if he might not necessarily be in the mainstream spotlight for a few years now. But with that said, there was a recent article posted on BetweenThePosts.ca, Berger's website over here, that talks about a scoop that we need to dive into here. Look at what this report says, that Auston Matthews won't be back with the Toronto Maple Leafs. The text message came out of nowhere, clearly in response to my recurrent theme about Auston Matthews, yet unsolicited. From a man with whom I haven't been in recent contact, yet a good source of information throughout my media career, Berger said he got a text message that said this: "I got something for you. Your favorite captain will be traded this summer to one of three Western teams: Anaheim, LA, or Utah. Mark it down. Auston Matthews won't be back with the Leafs." Now, to Berger's credit, he goes out there and says that nothing about this sent any shockwaves through my system, nor should it yours. Matthews has been in steady decline the past 2 years and is currently recovering from surgery to repair the medial collateral ligament in his left knee, damaged March 12th by the greasy hit from Radko Gudas of the Ducks. Now pause. Would it not be so hilarious if Radko Gudas ended up staying with Anaheim? He re-signs there. He's the captain of the team, for crying out loud. And then Auston Matthews joins the ship in the summer? Would that not be so weird? It's like when Brandon Manning got traded over to the Edmonton Oilers and everybody was like, hey, wait a minute, that's the guy that took out McDavid's collarbone, is it not? Now they have to be friends. Now they have to be teammates. Auston Matthews could be doing the same thing with Gudas if this report of Anaheim, LA, and or Utah is accurate. Now, the funny part is, this ain't even the first time we have mentioned these specific teams. Head over to the Lego Rocks 99 YouTube channel and sort by most popular videos. The second most popular commentary that we had made on this channel, which garnered 200,000 views 3 years ago, spoke about the same idea of Auston Matthews potentially going to these kinds of teams: Vegas, Arizona, Anaheim, LA, San Jose. Now, the title back then was Pulling a Gaudreau, because it was like, oh, well, Johnny Gaudreau left Calgary. He wanted to go to Columbus, even though everybody thought he wanted to go to New Jersey or Philadelphia. It was a totally weird situation, but Auston Matthews has reason to have teams in this area be on his list. Arizona made sense because he's from there. LA, Anaheim, San Jose, SoCal, it's pretty nice. Okay, San Jose ain't really SoCal, but still. And then Vegas was the brand new team on the block, and they're really good. Obviously, Marner is in Vegas, so the idea of Matthews heading over there in 2026 seems like a total pipe dream. But the article does have a source reporting of LA, Anaheim, or Utah. Let's go out there and read the rest of the article. It's pretty short. I mean, it doesn't really dive into too much of the trade discussion. It just talks about what Matthews is and the polarizing figure that he has become in Leafs Nation for the disparity in his performance between the regular season and playoffs. Quite simply, he's never come through for the Maple Leafs in a key situation during his captaincy or before. If there is some big-time player in him, and I'd bet all kinds of money against it, that posture will not unfold here in Toronto. Otherwise, it already would have. Try for a moment to cast your emotional Leafdom aside. What remains tangibly for number 34 in a Toronto uniform? And why would he wish to continue his flagging career in this city? After a decade, there's no way you can still be thinking, just be patient, give it time. Matthews could play until he's 96 years old and never make his mark with the Leafs in a Stanley Cup tournament. He knows it, and you know it. Goodness, this is a very opinionated piece, isn't it? You know, I'm not necessarily going to agree or disagree with that, but I also do want to point out that Auston Matthews did captain a team to an Olympic gold medal, although you could also very well say that he was not nearly one of the best players on that Olympic squad. He was over a point per game, sure, but I'd say that on the list of most important Team USA players, you could very well place two Hugheses and a Hellebuck already over Auston Matthews. Both of these guys were fantastic. That guy was the reason they won the gold medal game. And then JT Miller, who got 0 points, was also pretty valuable as well. I'm joking, by the way. Talk about captains on the American squad, right? But with that said, LA, Utah, Anaheim, each potentially putting their name in the list over here. There have been some social media replies to this entire conversation, as highlighted by NHL Muse on Twitter. He tweeted out the same quote that Berger posted on his website, that it's either going to be Anaheim, LA, or Utah. Does LA have enough if they put Byfield in the offer? What else do they even have? NHL Muse replies off the top of my head they could include Byfield and Carter George, who was one of the better goalie prospects outside the NHL. Definitely some picks too. They don't have much though. He hasn't been a Maple Leaf reporter for 15 years. LOL, sure. Matthews to Utah for Cooley, Uyghur, a second and a first. Matthews to LA for Clark, Laferriere, a first, a third, and a top 10 protected first. Matthews to Anaheim for Carlson, Mintyukov, and 2 firsts. I do not think that this is actually going to go down. I think that Anaheim would say no to this kind of a deal, to be honest. Carlson, 2 firsts, and Mintyukov for Matthews. Man, maybe on a actual value basis, you could say it's equal, but not for the Anaheim Ducks. They don't want to give up on Leo Carlson, especially for a guy like Matthews. Another reply says he's going to the Sharks. They have the money, they have the cap space, they have the prospects and the picks that trade to Toronto. On the brink of the playoffs, they have people within the organization who are close to him, and they're in the California weather. So, with all that said, we will wait and see whether or not Auston Matthews finds himself getting traded for or playing alongside of a Quinton Byfield or a Carlson or a Logan Cooley. If he's playing with Clayton Keller in Utah, I'd say that's pretty good. If he's playing with a Cutter Gauthier in Anaheim, that's pretty good too. And then you have yourselves Artemi Panarin with Matthews in LA. That would be dangerous as all hell. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about these updates from Auston Matthews in Toronto. Big shout out over to Jean Gaudet for your subscription here on the YouTube channel. I appreciate you, my friend. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.